But as a teacher, if somebody asks you that, okay, tell me, I am not improving at all, what is that basic thing that I should do? So would you suggest them listening to these kind of podcasts?
I tell them complete beginners who are not able to form sentences. I tell them ki watch my videos, see how I'm
Yes.
asking questions, see how the next person is responding.
Yeah.
But at one point they are able to hold a conversation. I tell them avoid English conversational videos. I recommend only people who are, talking in English but on different topics. For example,
Okay.
actual podcast.
Yes.
Majority of the time it's foreigners like Dr. Huberman, Joe
Yeah.
Rogan, because these
Mm.
guys are bringing such amazing guests. It's not just their
Yes.
personality but also the personality of the guest, right? Let's say even if I'm
Correct.
not interested in Hollywood or what
Yeah.
other actors are doing, but they bring
Mm.
such interesting stories that you get completely hooked
Yeah.
in their conversation. So
Correct.
listening
Correct.
to podcast
Sometimes.
is amazing, but
Mm.
this kind of podcast, it is for complete beginners, somebody who is not even able to form sentences.
Yes. But sometimes it's also about storytelling that, people are hooked to what we are talking to.
Yeah.
That is there. That is a different thing. But
Hmm.
yes, when we talk about when you say that, okay, beginners can, of course, rely on this for at least
Hi, good
some.
evening.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tanu. I am a teacher by profession, and I used to teach in schools earlier, but because of some reasons, I left my job, and now I give online classes. So it's been 6 months now that I give online spoken classes, and this is pretty much what is going on right now.
So we are in the same situation. I was also working
Yes,
in a school and now I work online. So,
yes,
and I'm recording this video after a long time, this conversational series. I was not doing it.
correct.
So, let me
Yeah.
introduce myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Roshan and I am from Bihar. I also work as a teacher. I provide online spoken English classes. Earlier, I was also working in a school, but now I work full time here.
You tell me how it is different that going to school and working for online. How is it different and which is better for you?
I like working in a school, but I thought that when I was working in a school, I thought that working online would be great. And when I started
Okay.
working online, I started missing all my students and the people with whom I was working. So
Yes.
it's difficult to say which one is better, but talking about convenience, this is a lot better. Like there is flexibility. We can move
Yes.
our classes. We can talk to the clients depending on our
Correct.
energy level, right? But yeah, I
Yes.
do like to talk in real life. I think there is no replacement of that. Nothing can replace offline interaction.
Correct, correct. And I think at least we have certain th time that okay, till 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock we're going to interact, and rest of the time we can spend for ourselves. But it's
Exactly.
not like that when we do it online. It's like always 24/7,
Yeah,
anytime.
yeah. When you are your own boss and employee, you are worst employee ever, right? You become also a bad boss.
Correct, correct.
How is
I
it
I
going?
always thought that yes, I always thought that it would be better if I'm not
Hmm.
working for anybody, but no, it's not like that. It's more difficult, I think.
Yeah. So how is it going for you, the shift? Are you enjoying it or do you find it similar as I am finding it right now?
Initially, I was quite happy. I was 24/7, it used to run in my mind. I just kept thinking about what to do next, how to plan the classes, sleeping, getting up all the time.
Yeah.
But eventually, now I think I'm burned out almost. And
Oh.
now I don't like it as much. But yes, I am trying. I think break is important, which I did not take initially. Now I am taking it little slow.
Hmm.
So let's see how it goes. I think and generally what happens, I get fed up of anything that I do very soon. So
Hmm.
maybe that's the reason. What about
Exactly.
you? Yes.
100%. I also find it same. So I have reduced my number of classes. I only work with clients with whom I find that it's not going to take much work. So
Yes.
that's one thing I mentioned earlier, that you have flexibility to choose
Yeah.
and you can move classes according to your energy level. So I feel like I am able to work in the morning quite well. So I'm doing that right now. But yeah,
Yes.
I wish I could work in a school the way I want to. But when you are working in a school, there are just too many work you have to take care of,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, correct.
Mm.
Correct. Yes. Nowadays, it's not easy to work in school also. It's too much of work.
Mm.
Yeah, work is everywhere, but
When you were working in a school, I think teachers can relate if they are watching,
Mm.
especially when you are working in a private school. You don't have
Yeah.
that freedom or flexibility that you can work the way you want to in classrooms,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
also the paperwork. And when you're working in a CBSE board school, then the number of students are also high, 40, 30, 35. So you don't have much energy left to work on your own things.
Correct, correct. Yes, that's one thing that is like creative. There's no creative freedom. Even in my school, what it was like, you get lesson plans also. You have to implement that lesson plan in the class.
Hmm.
So yes, that is one thing. And of course, flexibility. Now, sometimes when I don't feel like taking the class, I just say, "Okay, okay, I'll postpone it to the next day," which I
Yeah.
do rarely.
Hmm.
But yes, I can do it at least. But that's not the case when you're working for somebody. So yes, this is
100%.
an added advantage.
Hmm.
And yes, there are a lot of blessings to count actually.
Yeah, I think we are complainers. So if anybody is watching, and the thing you mentioned about creativity, when I
Yeah.
started working, I was working in a smaller school. It was CBSE board, but the number of students were very less, 20, 15 in one class. So I was teaching class 6 to 10th students. So there I had flexibility, and whatever I wanted to do, I could do it in the class. But the problem
Yes.
was, they were not paying me on time. So I needed cash, I needed to pay my bills. So I
Yeah.
thought, you know what, this cannot continue. So
Mm.
where I had flexibility and freedom, I wasn't being
Yes.
paid well. Then I went to
Correct.
another school, and boy, I hated my job so much in my life that I just wanted to quit. And luckily, YouTube has
Mm.
started working for some time. So I thought maybe
Yes.
I can take that change and accept that change. It was
Yes.
hell.
Yes. Mm. I can totally relate. Oh, it is always like that. Something
Hmm.
or the other goes wrong, like whatever you do. But yes, this is, I mean, among whatever I did, I think this is the best till now. I should not complain. But yes, we are
Yeah.
all human beings. We have this tendency.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I think when you are at a certain point in your life, you feel like I'm not enjoying this part of my life. But when you look
yes.
back after 6 months, you think, you know what, that time was a lot better than what it is right
Yes,
now.
yes, yes, it's always like that. It is always like that.
Hmm.
But yes, I think a lot of things has made it fancy, like working for yourself, like shows we have Shark Tank and all. They show that big entrepreneurs do all these things. They have good life.
Hmm.
Maybe because of that also we feel that it would be great, but in reality it is different.
Yeah, when you work for yourself, then there is no, in your mind there is always this thing going on, that what's next, what should I do to get more clients or create better content if you are a content creator. And I
Yes.
think that's why a lot of creators feel that burnout, especially
Mm.
when you are in a creative field and teaching field. I think there is always this desire to create better and to make better videos,
Yes,
and you
correct.
forget rest of the things, and it's not good when you obsess
Yes.
too much about certain things, and then there is
Mm.
results that why if I'm
Yes.
not, even after putting this much effort, I'm not getting views, I'm not getting results.
Yes.
That's another
Mm.
factor.
Correct. I think create, and this is altogether a different thing, right? What we do in the class is different, and what is content creation is entirely different. I feel
Yeah.
that, and maybe I don't have that edge of creativity that people have around.
Hmm.
Maybe sometimes I feel that maybe I'm not creative enough, so I should stop it. But then we are all human beings. We want everything in life.
Yeah.
So yes, I also try a little bit of it.
Actually, I haven't seen your work, but I will recommend don't stop, because even I don't consider myself a creative person, but when I see my work from past 2 years, and what I see right now, I see a lot of improvement, like in my
Yeah.
work itself. I don't praise myself. I'm a very
Yes.
I criticize a lot my own work, but when I look at my previous videos and when I look at my current videos, I see that I have improved. So I think creativity is also a task that you can learn. Maybe it takes
Yes.
time, but you have to do the drill. I think that.
Yes, yes, maybe, but I think when you start seeing the results, maybe you feel that okay, I should keep doing it. But when you see there is nothing going on, then you think like, okay, what to
Hmm.
do,
Yeah,
right?
it's demotivating. So what kind of
Yes.
videos do you make? Just conversational videos, or do you upload something?
No, right now I'm not doing anything else, only this conversation videos.
Hmm.
Whatever messages I put and whatever messages I get, I try to like record it 40-minute session, do
Hmm.
some editing and put it. I'm not putting any more creativity now.
Yeah,
But yes, I tried to create some solo videos earlier, but it's a task, to edit it, put
exactly.
everything together.
Lot of work.
So yeah. Then maybe whenever I'll get some more time, I will try, of course. But right now, this is what I'm doing. Only
I,
conversation videos.
I have been trying to create solo videos, for the past 3 months. I only
Yes.
uploaded solo video, like going
Mm,
outside, talking about books. But
yes.
these are not working. But still, I think I have improved a lot. Like content wise, writing wise, I feel
Yes.
like I have made progress. But talking about my channel, it feels like it is completely dead right now, even after putting this much
No,
effort.
I see your work. That's why I messaged you also. So say but you tell me what is more, easier to do, or what you have more flexibility, right? When you make solo videos,
Yeah.
then it depends wholly on you, like
Mhm.
what you want to do. But when we do conversation, then it is based on somebody else also. So
Yeah.
what is easier according to
This
you?
is easier, only you have
Yes.
to depend on others. That's another negative side of it,
Yes.
that you have to wait for
Mm,
the person. Sometimes the person don't even show up, right? You
mm,
keep on
mm.
waiting. You
Yeah.
set a timing 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
and they don't even show up. So that's one
Correct.
like negative side of it. But this is very easy to do. Just write to a person, set a time
Yes.
and have a discussion, and you don't have to edit much here, right?
Yep.
You can cut some parts, you
Correct.
can add some text, good to go. But with solo videos, you have to write, make sure that you are not repeating same things in every video.
Yes.
So that's
Mm,
one factor, like writing, editing, and then scheduling. So personally, I enjoy creating solo videos and I want
yes.
to do more of those, but this is easier if you compare
Yes.
like work by. I think this is very easy
Correct.
to do.
Yes. But what about the niche? Don't you think that it has become stagnant? There are same kind of talks going on all the time, and the same discussion, how we get fluency and how do you do it? How did you do it?
Hmm.
So I think, don't you
It's
think it's
quite repetitive.
repetitive? Yes.
100% it is. Why do you think I took that long goddamn break? 3 months. I have not recorded a session for what,
Yes.
3 months, because we are living such boring lives. What do we
Mm,
have to talk
mm.
about? You are
Yeah,
just taking
that is also
classes,
true.
so we
Mm,
don't. At one point, you run out of things to talk about, and on top of that,
yes.
it is virtual podcast. So
Mm,
you're not
mm,
getting to see the energy of the second person, or you
mm,
don't know
mm,
much about that. But I think if it was a real life podcast, it could be a
mm.
little different. You can add a little bit of flavor. You can be
Yes.
a little bit more prepared. But
Yeah.
the thing you mentioned about being repetitive, that's one thing. And also for people like us who are living such boring lives, what to talk there.
Yes.
And
Correct.
yeah, but I think if you are going to be a little bit prepared, you can talk to the
Mm,
second person, pick up a topic. So for some time,
yes.
it can be little fun.
Correct. Correct. So, like for example, the big podcasters that we see, like
Hmm.
initially when it was Ranveer or somebody, so
Yeah,
they also try to make it interesting. It's not like that the topic is interesting, but they do put some, maybe
questions.
annotations or
Yeah,
something, questions. Yes.
yes, yes.
So,
See,
yeah.
again, I'm telling you, their lives are completely different. They are bringing professionals in every conversation.
Mm,
And whom do we
yeah.
get in our conversation? Majority
Mm,
of the time, it's English learners. And we
yes.
all are living almost similar lifestyle. Some of them are not even into films, books, or
Mm,
web series.
yeah.
If they are into these things, then we have a little more to talk. I think, you can bring that. But
Yeah.
majority of the time, it's always, how did you learn English? How is it going for
Mm,
you? How can I
yes.
improve? And the answers are very simple, but
Mm.
still we get to discuss only this thing.
But as a teacher, if somebody asks you that, okay, tell me, I am not improving at all, what is that basic thing that I should do? So would you suggest them listening to these kind of podcasts?
I tell them, complete beginners who are not able to form sentences, I tell them,
Yes.
ki watch my videos, see how I'm
Yes.
asking questions, see how the next person is responding.
Yeah.
But at one
Mm.
point they are able to hold a conversation, I tell them, avoid English conversational videos. I recommend only people who are, talking in English but on different topics. For example,
Okay.
actual podcast.
Yes.
Majority of the time it's foreigners like Dr. Huberman, Joe
Yeah.
Rogan, because these
Mm.
guys are bringing such amazing guests. It's not just their
Yes.
personality, but also the personality of the guest, right? Let's say even if I'm
Correct.
not interested in Hollywood or what
Yeah.
other actors are doing, but they bring
Mm.
such interesting stories that you get completely hooked
Yeah.
in their conversation. So
Correct.
listening
Correct.
to podcast
Sometimes.
is amazing, but
Mm.
this kind of podcast, it is for complete beginners, somebody who is not even able to form sentences.
Yes. But sometimes it's also about storytelling that, people are hooked to what we are talking to.
Yeah.
That is there. That is a different thing. But
Hmm.
yes, when we talk about when you say that, okay, beginners can, of course, rely on this for at least some part of it.
Hmm.
But once they start speaking, I think it is not very great, but somehow they can listen
Yeah.
to maybe grammar proportion or how to use grammar things and all
Yeah, yeah.
maybe.
Hmm. Actually, I have so many plans. I want to work on them, but again, like when you're working by yourself, you are not able
Mm.
to, create those videos. And even after creating, when you don't get views, you get demotivated. So I do have
Yeah.
some ideas like to make it engaging, but again,
Yes.
hardly we are getting what 500 views, 1,000 views. So it is quite demotivating.
Yes, it is, of course. And one more thing I would like to ask that, like for example, somebody like few of my students have this tendency that, if they have started, if they have get into something,
Hmm.
and within 2 months they don't get result, they get frustrated. Like they
Yeah.
have told me that it is very frustrating for us to not able to speak to somebody. But do you think that it is correct within 2 months or 3 months to be at that mental level of getting frustrated out of something?
It's human tendency. Some people have more patience. I have worked with
Mm.
clients who were very happy even after working for more than a year. I have worked with those
Yes.
clients also. So it depends on people mindset. Some people think that we can become a fluent speaker, able to hold a conversation with anybody in 3 months. But it's not
Yeah.
possible. Only you will get to a certain level. Let's say I'm a complete beginner, so I'm going to make huge lap, or I'm going to get to a different level in 3 months. But if I start taking classes from somebody, I don't think I'm going to improve much in the next three
Mm.
months, right? So
Mm.
it also depends on where you are standing right now. What's your current level? So it's just try to suggest them to have some patience and read, watch, and
Yes.
participate in output also,
Yes.
right?
Maybe to just forget everything and just trust the process, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be more helpful.
Exactly. That's the simple and most effective advice you can give anybody. That trust the process,
Yes.
and it's very difficult. And I
Mm.
think I have started to recommend my clients to record their sessions. Earlier,
Mm.
we were not doing it. But
Okay.
sometimes we are not able to see our own progress. But when you go back and see your own conversation
Yes.
before 3 months, you see, is that me? Is this me right now? So I
Correct.
think you can recommend this to record their videos or how they are
Yeah.
talking. It's good to
Yeah.
compare.
So yes. So initially, when I thought this, I thought, okay, while you join me, you put a video, send
Hmm.
me a video in the first day,
Yeah.
and once after some time, you can just look back to what you were earlier. But we don't do it on a regular basis. But
Hmm.
maybe I should try this. Maybe it will work.
Exactly. I think, how long have you been doing this conversational videos or English content?
Almost 4 months now,
Do
or
you
five
see any
months.
changes in your speaking style, your speaking?
Yes.
Hmm.
Actually, earlier I used to get scared. Scared as in I used to be nervous. My hands and feet used to get cold.
Hmm.
Now I have overcome that fear. Now I don't feel like it's okay, we're just talking. This
Hmm.
is something that I think I see the improvement in me.
Hmm.
Yes. So yes, there is a change.
Yeah, I when I look back at my older videos, I also feel the same way. I'm not sweating right now. It's only because summer is approaching. But back in the days, I was literally sweating while talking to
Okay.
people. It was completely on my face. But
Okay.
as you mentioned, that we get used to this. So
Mm.
I also see
Yes.
improvement. So if somebody has watched this far, guys, record yourself and compare your journey, where you were and where you are after 3 or 5 months. Yeah. All right, Tanu. Do you want to add anything before we wrap up our session? Anything for the audience?
Um, I think I am out of ideas now. I don't know what we'll record. Okay, yes.
Yeah. All right
But
then.
yeah, I would just like to say thank you. Thank you for having me in on this channel. It was so nice talking to you.
Same here. It doesn't feel like I'm talking to somebody after a long time. So it was a really nice conversation, and hopefully we will discuss on your channel also.
Yes, yes.